Hello, human. This is the lie number 1 of a video series that there's one video that talks about all lies and the bullet points, and this video is going to go into depth onto lie number 1 that our brains believe. What do our brains believe? The lies that drain our energy. And specifically, I'm talking entrepreneurs, the adventurers, the risk takers, the believers in like challenging is rewarding.
Welcome! Here is your hostess and coach, Chandra, helping people make food and mood changes doable without missing out. Go ahead, high five that like button, subscribe and share while you're there.
So, lie number 1 is that stress leads to success. And even we can go into putting in the other thoughts of like stress is useful, stress is necessary, stress is cool, stress is, in the tech world, it's like almost kind of in fashion, or in the big cities, there's this status to being stressed. So our brains by default, as a survival mechanism, believe that stress is useful. And it is useful when we're in an emergency, when there's blood involved, when someone's attacking us. There are moments, few moments, where stress is actually going to save our life. It's useful to us. But what's happening in our culture, in our modern world, is that we're running on stress regularly. We're using stress to get our to-do list done, to get somewhere on time, to get a project done, we're putting pressure and stress on our team to perform better, to meet deadlines, to get numbers better. There's this pressure and stress that many people are just using as default. And so our brains believe that stress, and even, we've even kind of bought in culturally that stress leads to success, that stress is useful. Now, what I want to tell you right now is that the opposite is actually what's true.
Hello, my friend. How are you? I'm in the Dead Sea, floating in the water. Go ahead and like and share and follow so we can keep in touch.
Stress is actually, the downsides of stress is that it's creating inflammation in our body. So it's actually the foundation of disease and health symptoms that most everybody has, you probably have. So running on stress, chronic inflammation, chronic health issues. And what else it really does is it lowers our brain function. So when we're in a state of stress, we're using our primal brain, and that part of our brain is only able to think about right now. It puts out fires. It helps us survive today. But the more useful place to use our brain from is from our prefrontal cortex. I like to call it the CEO or the parent. The part of our brain that's able to think about the future and able to think about the zoomed out perspective of the problem at hand, or the job to do, or the thing that needs to get done, the to-do list, the project, the hard conversation, whatever it is. It's actually the prefrontal cortex is the part of our brain that is way more useful to use. Now, in order to switch from using the default stressed state to the CEO part of our brain that's regulated, that's in charge, we need to actually use our brain. We need to be aware of our brain, what its default mode is, and choose, or this recent concept, notice the drift and choose to shift. So you notice that your brain goes into that stress mode and actually intentionally move your brain mode to your CEO, to your prefrontal cortex. And what happens when we do that is we actually regulate our nervous system. Excuse me. We regulate our nervous system so that we're grounded. Like an alpha in an animal pack, the alpha is the most regulated nervous system when stress arises. A leader, a boss, someone in charge, that is the same quality. Someone who can regulate their nervous system under stress is the boss, is the leader, because when everybody freaks out and things seem to be going wrong, we all need a nervous system to regulate to. Kids do the same thing. That's a lot of what we do as parents. Is we help them regulate their nervous system because they're in this fight or flight. That's the default, and parents help calm their kids, ground them, and regulate them. So we can do this for ourselves. We can do this for our teams. We can do this for people around us. we can intentionally choose to regulate our brain, regulate our stress levels, so that we can show up using the CEO part of our brain that's able to problem solve and really think about all the pieces. Because guess what happens when we use our primal brain? When we're stressed, we're making really low quality decisions. We're not thinking of the whole picture. And in the end, we're actually costing ourselves time and money and energy. So doing this practice of switching modes into our CEO part of our brain, we actually can make better decisions that are more effective, that save us time, save us money, and really help us show up in this higher level thinking, this higher level state. It's really a game changer, not only for our productivity and our performance and our actually at work, but it also really has an effect on our health. When we're not chronically in stress, our body's not inflamed. We're not creating the doorway to diseases and health symptoms. And guess what happens when you're not stressed and your body's not having to repair itself because it's in inflammation? So you're actually going to save time and energy because your body needs less rest to recover from the stress. Isn't that interesting? So it's like you get like bonuses on all fronts. There's really no downside to regulating your stress. And you might think, oh, it's going to be one more thing to learn, or oh, it's going to take all this time. It's seconds. Once you understand how to do it, and once you start practicing it, it's nanoseconds. It's not time. It's just attention and choice, which will up-level productivity, performance, presence, creativity. It's really an incredible tool to use both in your business and also in your home life with your kids, with your friends, with your family. It'll go into every area of your life. So I hope by this video you learn about the default lie that your brain believes, that stress leads to success, that we need to be stressed to get things done, and actually question and catch that thought or catch that like unconscious belief system and start thinking to yourself, well, actually, maybe regulating my stress is the most useful thing for me to show up bigger and better and more productive in my life, and healthier, of course. All right, so that is lie number 1, stress leads to success. Not true. Now tune back in and go watch the lie number 2 and lie number 3, and also watch the one that does all the bullet points. And if this is like something that you sound, yeah, heck yeah, then go ahead and sign up for a free call with me and let's get this party started. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon.